What's going on, guys? My name is Tim Ruswick, and in light of recent events with the whole EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 stuff, I figured we would talk a little bit about loot boxes, the morality of it, the ethics of it, the profits of it, the reason for it, all that stuff. So, for those of you that don't know, recently EA announced their game Star Wars Battlefront 2, which launched today, like this week, soon. And basically, the game had all sorts of like mobile game in-app purchases and all kinds of stuff. It had timed lockouts for earning stuff, had all kinds of stuff. But the thing that upset people the most was that there are cards that you can earn in the game that actually increase your performance. Like they can give you extra perks and mods that actually affect gameplay, as well as characters. And the only way to unlock these characters is one of two ways: either you work for them in game, or you purchase them with in-game credits. And someone did the math, and it turns out that like a character like Darth Vader, it takes 40 hours of gameplay to unlock the character. And even then, someone went and did the math even beyond that, and they found that it takes more time to actually get a bachelor's degree than to unlock everything in that game. So obviously it was a step too far. The internet reacted. Reddit went crazy. Reddit's still going crazy. I'm still reading stuff about it, and this has been going on for like a week or two now. A lot of people boycotted the game, but you know, it's one of those massive games where, you know, if the entirety of Reddit wants to boycott it, that's still the top 1% of the player base. You know, 200,000 people is not anything with millions of players. So I don't really think there was a dent done to it. But it brings up a good topic, which is, you know, are microtransactions, you know, should they be in games? Should they be in games that we pay for? Do they have a place in these games? Like, on one hand, you have this whole free-to-play model popped up, where now developers could give out games for free and get people hooked where otherwise they wouldn't buy games. Like, I don't buy a lot of games, so games that are free to play, they usually hook me right up front. And so it gets me as an extra player. But the way these games monetize is they have in-app purchases, they have loot boxes, they have randomized rewards and all this different stuff, where you can purchase credits, but the credits are also earned by, you know, playing the game. I usually don't buy any in-app purchases. I'm just not, like, there's been a couple things that have tempted me, like played a game called Paladins, which is kind of like Overwatch, and that was kind of cool. Nicole and I really enjoyed it, so I figured I might buy a few characters off of there. But you know, that's a free game. I kind of get upset when I see that same tactic being used in a game I just paid $60 for. And I think it has to do with the fact that, like, it feels almost like a betrayal in a way. As a developer, I understand that these companies need to make money. Like, there's certainly nothing wrong with making money. And I think these games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more massive, that they need to find other ways to monetize them. Well, they don't need to, but, you know, that's what companies do. The goal of a company is always to make the most money possible. Just think about that. And the goal of the consumer is always to pay the least amount of money possible. So you got this business consumer paradox going on. And seems like there's a very vocal select few people on the internet that are very unhappy about this. And as game developers, I think we should look at it and, you know, think about how we can do things better. So personally, for me, I think in-app purchases, unfortunately, are the future. I think digital purchases and in-game currency and all that, I think it's going to get worse. By worse, I mean it's going to become more prevalent, and it's just going to be part of the monetization model of games going forward. The route I hope it doesn't take is that you pay $60 up front for a game, and then you also have to pay microtransactions and a bunch of other stuff. You know, I saw it, like, I'm a big fan of Destiny, and I saw it come into Destiny, and then In Destiny 2, it's a dominant part of the entire game, with the Eververse store and all that. Games are being designed around it for sure. Games are being designed around microtransactions and these random rewards in these Skinner box systems, which is essentially like gambling, because they're not allowing you to buy individual items anymore. Because buying individual items means that you stop. I remember, I used to play in Pokemon tournaments and Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. I was a competitive card game player, and the big thing with card games was always like, don't buy packs of cards. Don't, and they were so popular, and everybody wanted to buy packs of cards. But if you want to just play the game, you need to wait till the set comes out. Wait till you know what cards are good and just buy those individual cards. Even if the cards are 20, 30, 40 bucks, it's still cheaper to do that. Barring some crazy, like there are a couple cards that were just ridiculous. They went up to $80, $100, $200 sometimes. So, in that case, it might be better to buy boxes, but it's always better to buy the individual item. And the reason, like, there's something about buying random packs, like card packs or loot boxes or whatever, that triggers these things in our brain where we just go, oh my God, like it's excitement, right? Like it's the same thing that pulling the lever in the casino or putting your money on blackjack. It's the same chemicals, the same reason that those things are addictive. And implementing those things in games intentionally, while not allowing players to buy individual items that they want, is like, it's on the shady side of game development for sure. But then when you go a step farther and you do something like EA did, where these things can literally affect the gameplay, so it becomes pay to win. The people that have money like just win this stuff. That's not a very fun game there. Now there certainly are people that would prefer to buy things than to grind for them. There are. I know some. I had one of my old partners, man, he got me into Clash of Clans. And so we were playing for a while, probably a couple months. And he was always doing better than me. I was just like, dude, what are you, like, have you spent money on this? And he was like, yeah, I put about $2,000 into this. And I was like, dude, we only been playing this for like 3 months. What do you mean you put $2,000 into this? What are you talking about? He's like, no. I put $2,000 a month into it to keep my base up and to, attack with my clan and do all that. And I was like, you spent $6,000 on a mobile game? What is wrong with you? But this dude came from a rich family. His, his parents were wealthy. They owned a lot of property and stuff. So for him, he enjoyed that. He had the money to blow. He also had a very addictive personality, though. He was an alcoholic. He was a drug user. He was a very addictive person. So I feel like that stuff preys on people that have legitimate problems. And I have a lot of family members that have struggled with addictions and stuff. So I'm a little biased against this, I guess. But what's the right answer? You guys tell me. Where is the line between rightfully monetizing your own game and crossing a line? Where's that at? For me personally, I feel like if I pay for a game, there shouldn't be microtransactions in it. And I feel like some of the high profile games, some of the AAA games, maybe couldn't get made. I don't know the actual number, so I don't know if they still make a shitload of money, if they're still super profitable off of the thing. But I know, like Rockstar, for example, they made way more money off of the microtransactions in GTA 5 than they did from the launch of the game, and that game was the biggest launch in history at the time. So, is it just needlessly like trying to prod for different monetization streams? Like, I don't blame them. They're companies. Their objective as an entity, legally in the United States, their goal as an entity is to make the most amount of money possible. And then when a company starts becoming publicly traded as well, Then you have shareholders and board members and all this stuff. And literally there's no more like, there's no figurehead anymore. It's like this corporations exist to give returns to thousands of people around the world. So we have to make more and more money every year. So I get the meaning behind it, but like, are they ruining gaming? Like, are they destroying this awesome thing that we've grown up with, this industry that we're in? I don't know. I hope not. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on it though. Should loot boxes exist at all in games? Should microtransactions exist in games that we pay for? Should free-to-play even exist? Where's the line between addictive, predatory behavior and fun, random rewards? Because random rewards are fun, right? They help us play. So I don't know. I want your guys' opinions on this. I want to know where you stand. So leave me a comment below and let me know your opinions on all this stuff. I'm interested to read. So I will read through your comments, and I will be very appreciative that you left them for me on this subject. But once again, I'm Tim Roswick, and I will see you tomorrow.